elephants taking SpongeBob to the deepest, most dangerous...
Oh. Hey, the SpongeBob trailer is finally here for us to see. I personally was expecting this thing yesterday, so I'm glad it finally showed up now. And I gotta be honest, my first take on this is actually a lot more positive than usual. We've done extensive coverage of these SpongeBob movies over the years. Here, you can see some of them. Hey, oh. But generally, with the SpongeBob movies coming out so extensively every year or every half year, it does seem to be that in recent days, they're starting to come into their own. And by that, really, I mean the Plankton movie, the latest one that came out earlier this year, was genuinely solidly done. It was a great presentation of its titular antagonist that had the same kind of writing chops as the original because it was Mr. Lawrence himself involved in the production and the writing. And this here, I see a lot of green flags.
Is coming to theaters.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, hey, you know what? That's a highlight of the SpongeBob animation, is the overacting, the over-animation, the crazy proportions.
Let's go!
Okay, they really like their circles in these mouths. But, okay, yeah, it's looking like... Well, Sandy's looking very saturated over there. Spongebob Movie 4 very much does look like the Plankton movie, and that's not a bad accolade to have, actually. Whether it comes from the 3D artistic style really coming into its own, this is far and away gone from the cheap look of the Sandy Cheeks movie, I'll definitely give it that. And this seems to have its own visual aesthetic that really works. Everyone's glistening the whole time, which is a little odd, but hey, it's nice to see some lighting. Oh, and it's stylized as well. Everybody's draped in oil. Everyone's glistening. Okay. Wow, it's interesting that there's a SpongeBob movie every year or every half year, but they always look a little bit different. I don't hate this. I think it can grow on me. This to me kind of feels like the, what was it called? Link's Awakening remake, where everyone looks a little bit ceramic. I get the same kind of vibe here. They have a design, but it's also like stylistic, and it's nice, and they're clearly doing a little bit of, I guess maybe that's Sony inspired animation work. I mean, they did have TMNT as well before, so like, okay, we'll see. And I really actually am on board with the Flying Dutchman arc story, since it's one of the big characters, to me I think is a big character anyway, that hasn't actually had the movie treatment, and when you've got actual, I don't know, budget behind it, you can do some really nice lighting effects. And visually, this is some great eye candy throughout. Hey, he looks alright. I like this style. I don't know if we've seen Davy Jones, you know, stylized like that, but I think it works. It's nice. It's almost a little like the hair reminds me of stop motion, but also the lighting, actually having that glowing, illuminescent green glow on a movie budget. Like, SpongeBob and Patrick look great with the shading. This is a feast for the eyes. They finally worked it out. Where it really comes down to, since the visuals seem to be doing nicely in animation in most places, is the writing. And it can be done well. We've seen multiple times now where a SpongeBob movie has been really, really good, but there are a lot of examples where it's done notably bad. And this, I think, is so far teetering along the line. I think there's potential in either direction, and that's good and bad. One of the key elements, at least, of the TV show is the crazy animation that they make that Sponge Boy do with all of his facial expressions or the way he morphs his body. And there's a little bit of that I think works pretty nicely in this. I don't know how heavy they're gonna lean onto it. And also, like, when I recently revisited the first SpongeBob movie, a lot of the humor there came into just making goofy, silly noises, and it worked. It was like, you know. But it's an interesting take they have there, which isn't so relevant in this trailer, but we'll see as things go.
They've never.
Ahoy!
Wow. All right, I'll take it, I guess. Is there anywhere that SpongeBob hasn't done or gone before? He's gone to the surface several times. Has he really never been a pirate before? What happened to Davy Jones? There's Davy Jones, okay. That being said, this movie does also have a notable red flag to it that makes me a lot less, blindly optimistic. And that is that it is, once again, a live-action hybrid movie. SpongeBob can't leave the damn surface world alone, and he really should, because I think SpongeBob is at its best when it's almost all animation. Sure, the first movie has a little bit with David Hasselhoff, and sure, the Plankton movie has a little bit with the big robot breaching into the coast. Maybe just leave it at that. And maybe they will. But this theme park aesthetic makes me think there's going to be a kind of extracted scene like that. But if they keep it nice and short, maybe they're on good terms. Weird about the antagonist, though.
Dutchman's taking Spongebob to the deepest, most dangerous...
Oh, you know, I think I would have preferred this without the live action. Plankton movie, that was all... Oh, there was... Okay, it was a little bit live action in that they had a creature poke out and be villainous. But otherwise, that was a full 3D movie. You're losing me now that it's going live action, I'll be honest. Like having a big piratey villain in live action? Okay. This is the second movie. That's what the second movie did. Are they repacing all of the main movies? The first movie was great, and then they pasted over with the same kind of stylization with the Plankton movie, and now they're coming for they're taking out Antonio Banderas and making a new pirate. Like, it's better. I love the Davy Jones. I love the 3D expansions. I hope this pays off. Hey there, thank you for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already to keep up with more animated movie trailers. I have a long list to cover this week, so I'll be going through all of those over the next few days. But thank you for joining along. Right, let's get back to it. There's now a live action pirate who we've also already had in a more iconic celebrity character cast. At least I don't know who that guy is. I don't think. Maybe I'm supposed to. I didn't recognize him straight away. So maybe it's nice that it's not just a celebrity chucked in there, breaking the mold in that way, or maybe I just didn't recognize them because most of the screen time they have, they're looking away from the camera. They're a bit up here.
Wonder where?
And it's gonna stick to the pirate theme, huh? Everyone's got a pirate aesthetic. Got a little bit more of that ice cream lady creature with a big mouth person and an eyeball. I like it. It's just Kane. They've just invented Amazing Digital Circus Kane on Nickelodeon. All right. Still, there's clearly an aesthetic that this movie is pigeoning into, which I think is nice. It's good to niche down rather than trying to cover everything. This is a pirate story. Every character has pirate gear. I assume the crew gets split in two. SpongeBob and Patrick are up ahead and the others are trying to find them. All for some sort of hidden treasure on piracy and all the rest of it.
The underworld.
Is it the others are trying to find SpongeBob and Patrick? Okay, cool. It's not just a Where's Gary story, but done with SpongeBob. Interesting. That was a minute, and that was really compact. I think I could get behind that. I hope they just don't lose it on that last swing. Because the Plankton movie blew everything out of the water, honestly. Like, it completely switches my perspective on the SpongeBob movies. And I hope this can nail it, because it's close. I think it comes quite nicely, and it has a lot more potential compared to so many years of terrible SpongeBob movies, and even the last trailer with Plankton movie had really bad optics to me personally, and then turned out absolutely brilliant. Not every comedy bit in this movie, I think, was golden. There are a couple of places I'm like, this was bad, or maybe leaning a little bit too much on the past.
Watch where you're going. Sorry. Wait, no.
That one's a little bit done. That's SpongeBob Movie 1 again. And I guess that's a bit more fitting to do it again in the Plankton movie because it's all about him. That was just the generic Plankton scene, that one was. I like the animation so far. The visuals are good and nice. See if the comedy writing will bring it all round. But then as well, there are other comedy chops that I think, well, I want to say are bad, but then actually, no, they're good. They got layers to them. I'll accept it.
Oh, my lucky brick.
I usually would say that's I hate this kind of joke, but I like the pun that's connected to it. There's a hint of an extra layer. I'll allow it. Actually, 3 layers if he actually comments on it. Yeah, you know what? Fine. I'll accept this joke. Yes, it's a poop joke, but it's because he's literally shitting bricks. It's singular. And then he thinks it's his lucky brick. Solid, sorted, you know what? The writers are back. The writing quality's back. I liked that one. The only time it's bad is when it's doing a really good joke from the original. But it has its own new territory. And that's nice to see. Beyond all of that though, despite the fact that I'm usually a little bit of a SpongeBob hater, can you blame me? I'm basing it out of what we've actually had as end results. With this year having a little bit of a surprise turnaround from Plankton, being their best movie in years after their worst movie ever, this, I think, could be a real sign of them turning directions in the best possible way. It seems after 2.5 decades of doing this damn IP, Nickelodeon and Paramount have really started to file down exactly what makes these stories tick, whilst covering a lot of bases all along the way. I think this is the most positive I've ever been attached to a SpongeBob trailer, but from everything I'm seeing so far, this is looking pretty damn good.
Faint of heart.
You got some new creative creatures in there with new designs, jellyfish hook with giant eyeballs. Great, I think that's what I want out of my SpongeBob, is like creativity. Remember the days of classic SpongeBob, like when he's down in the cliff face town waiting for a bus stop and there's like all sorts of weird, you don't know what mysteries are down there, or like the original SpongeBob movie with the giant monsters, original designs, and it's here in a new direction of the expansive world that they haven't done enough with yet. Okay. Oh? As a little synopsis we have on the side, the one we have says, SpongeBob and his Bikini Bottom friends set sail in their biggest, all-new, can't-miss cinematic event ever. The Spongebob Movie Search for Squarepants. Desperate to be a big guy, SpongeBob sets out to prove his bravery to Mr. Krabs by following the Flying Dutchman, a mysterious swashbuckling ghost pirate, on a seafaring comedy adventure that takes him to the deepest depths of the deep sea where no sponge has gone before. And I'll tell you what, actually, even hearing that on top of everything, that's a damn good pitch. It again leans back into SpongeBob trying to prove something, whether he's a man or whether he's brave. I assume Mr. Krabs is going to have guilt and following on that, and they'll work on that relationship slightly, maybe. And hey, exploring the deepest depths of the deep sea that somehow leads to a roller coaster theme park on the surface? Sure, but it's an ability to expand into new territory of SpongeBob. I can absolutely get behind it. And also, Mark Hamill is playing the Flying Dutchman, so you can't really go wrong there. Anyway, at least that's my first impression for SpongeBob Movie 6 now, I think, actually. Surprised it can actually go up from here. For now, though, my name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. Do tell me your thoughts on all things SpongeBob 6. Do you see some red flags that I haven't noticed, or are you more on board like I am? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and more, and I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio!
Underwear.
I'm seeing a couple red flags by the end of it. Okay.
Do you feel it?
Nothing. But don't let me slow you down.
Wow, they're really gonna stick to that eye patch penis joke? Alright, all the power to him, I guess. What a lovely present for Christmas.